Alright, daylight again, another day. Not raining today so far. We've got quite a bit of sand in here, lots to go yet. But it's froze. Right now the top here's soft. But you get underneath here, it's still frozen pretty good. We've got the ribbon on that side, plus doubled up for all over top of our door spaces. They're a little bit wider. 2x10 along this side, we've got 2x8 on this side. It'll be doubled as well. Those cleats underneath each post, full of nails. I prefer a nicer nail pattern. I don't think they even use the pattern, but that's alright, it'll still hold. It's just aesthetically pleasing if you do. So one thing we're going to be doing here yet, we're going to be putting Ys in here on every single post. Help hold it all up, and it'll be doubled up. And then I'm also putting little knee braces on where my trusses will be nailed against. So there'll be one set of truss going on this portion. And this is what we're going to close in first. There'll be a truss going from this wall to this wall. So we can get this whole side closed in and get ready for some cattle. And then there'll be another truss then connecting it going from this portion. We'll build that one later, but I would like to get this done here in the next little while. These guys have been working good on it. 4-man crew. The tractor as our lift. Sure handy to have. We've been having a few issues with the tractor. Brakes, it keeps locking up for some reason. There, it unlocked again. For some reason it's locking in place. Not exactly sure why, so we're gonna have to figure that out. But we're moving along, so hopefully we're gonna get this here all done. And then we can start doing the two sides. Then I need to decide on the height here. Either we're gonna come down from this point down, or I'm gonna come straight across, and it'll give us a lot more ceiling height, which in some ways I actually prefer, just to have a little bit more room there. So anyway, it's coming along. Waylon's playing around back there. I don't know what he's doing. Having fun with Wyatt. Sure been a huge help having the extra hands around to help us right now. Glad they're willing to do that. So we've got our constant measurements on each post. Every post lasered measurement on it. You can see Freed's holding it on the line there. I don't know if you can see the line on the post. Yeah, he's holding it there. That allows them to measure up. They can make their marks as to where this needs to go. They'll nail a cleat on, and then we can set our ribbon up on top of the cleat. So I got to make another order for some more lumber. Doesn't look like we're going to have quite enough. Well, no, I know we're not going to have enough, but I had ordered enough to get these posts in the ground initially is all I wanted, and the ribbons. But I did not count on all the Y brace. I should have figured it out right away. That's all right. So we'll get that ordered today. And then we can get all that nailed on as well. That really sturdies up the building side to side as well. Now our ceiling height's not real high. We're about 13.5 to 14 feet, depending on where exactly I leave the grade. So it's not huge. Our last shop I had 18-foot sidewalls, so considerably more. This one will be lower. And that's all right. We don't really need more than that. 18 is huge. The reason I would do 18 is because you can do a double story then. I'm not sure exactly what 18 feet is, but anyway, 9 feet or an 8-foot ceiling height is me standing up with my hands in the air. So if you have 8 feet, then you have a 1-foot subfloor, and then another 8 feet. That runs you to 17. And so 18-foot sidewalls allows you to have a 2-story. You can put a mezzanine in the back of the shop, which is lovely. So at 14 feet, it's going to be a bit low, but it's still possible. At the back of the shop, you could, let's say, make it 6.5 feet tall. I'm only 6'3", so at 6.5, they're still 3 inches above my head. So you can still get to the workbench at the back, and then you'd be able to put storage up on top of that on another floor if you wanted. That's still a nice height. Main thing right now, though, main thing is to get the back portion closed in, somewhat insulated at least, and then we can order a couple of milk cows. Milk cows to produce butter, cheese, and yogurts. Butter's a big one. We go through quite a bit of butter. Also drinking milk, of course. And then a few other animals. We can start getting some chickens in. We can start getting some rabbits. I don't know, whatever, some stuff for the kids. And for ourselves, buy a few calves as well, raise them. And then in the back portion, I would like to start running some beef cattle in there very soon. As soon as I find some. So lots of things to buy this year, and hopefully we can actually get farming. I know some people were commenting on that. Hey, I thought you moved to Russia to farm. Well, it takes time, right? First of all, we had to find the land, find our way in the country, then find some land, figure out how that's all going to work. We built a house. We've, I think, accomplished quite a bit in our first year here. And now that it's 2025, we have plans for many more things. All as the Lord allows, as time allows, and as finances allow. Of course, we're not generating any income in this country yet, and so it's just a matter of living on savings right now. Thankfully, things do, they are a lot cheaper here, so you can stretch your dollar a lot farther than you could back in Canada or States, but at the end of the day, there is still only so many things. There's a price on everything, and there's only so many things you can do with the money that I have. We are not super rich people. Thankfully, we had enough to come here and do this at least. So with any hope, or what we're hoping, is that we can start generating a profit with the gardens that'll be back here, with the cows. Then we can start earning an actual income, and then using that to continue to upgrade the farm and make the changes that we would like. We're hoping to do a lot of fencing in here to pasture graze our animals. We prefer to be mostly on pasture for everything that we do, and so with any luck we can get that done this year as well. And we're also hoping to build some cabins to rent out. So some of you, if you would like to visit the farm, whether that's for just for a weekend to spend time with your family, or whether that's to come here and learn things, maybe some seminars on farming, we're also considering doing that as well. So you could, if you desire to learn more about agriculture, stay here where we would show you some specifics on farming, maybe animal butchering, or milking, or cheese production, or whatever it might be. We could have those things available as well, and then that again would increase a bit of an income so that we could again carry on. Long term, we're hoping to be beneficial to the community around us as well, and just help build community, help build the countryside, help build the villages, breathe life back into rural areas, and show people the kind of lifestyle that you can live here and how it's great. People are interested, I think, but often don't know how they can make a living at it and how it would all work. And we would like to show that. It doesn't have to be a huge income that you need to make. It's more about lifestyle, that you're enjoying the life that you live and able to put enough food on the table and just enjoy life. A lot of people that I know anyway that have a city job don't necessarily enjoy it. Yes, they make more money, but it's such a hustle bustle pace, it's not really enjoyable. And I think you should try to enjoy every day. So if you're not enjoying your life, maybe you need to make a change, do something different. And living out in the countryside, living in the village, could be that change. It's not for everybody, but it is a good life. Good evening again, everybody. It is another day, and we're gonna get a little bit more work done, maybe. Hanging up a few things. The flooring I got in yesterday night. This is in. Worked out good. I've got the frame in here, and I was gonna do the door, and I just didn't get around to it. I measured it out. Measured it out for the hinges. So I gotta cut those out, and I gotta cut them out on the wall here as well, and then I'll be mounting that in there. I gotta finish off this trim work yet. Didn't get a whole lot done today, it feels like. That's just the way it goes. Somebody in the comments on today's video, so today the video about Wes working on the tractor weights went up, and somebody commented something about me filming less and Wes filming more, and wondering if something's wrong with me. So no, not really anything wrong with me. Sure, I got lots of aches and pains, but part of that's just age. I still have some sore spots in my back that we're working on, and yeah, other than that, life is pretty good. But what we're busy with right now is trying to figure stuff out for this coming year. So to figure out what we're going to do with the land, how we're going to do it, also how we're going to be able to feed our family as well as other families. and what the plan is for the future. So that's a lot of stuff that needs to be figured out. It's one thing to say, hey, we're going to farm. It's another way to figure out, or it's another thing to figure out exactly how we're going to do that in a productive manner to be able to put food on the table for all of us. And there's different legislations and different laws, different rules, different markets, different options here than what we would be used to in Canada. And even in Canada, if you go from Western Canada versus Eastern Canada, there's quite a difference as well as what is available and how, there's different legislations and rules. As an example, in Western Canada, in Saskatchewan, we were allowed to butcher animals ourselves on the farm and sell those without government inspection. But in Ontario, that is not allowed. You have to be, all your animals have to go to a licensed abattoir and be provincially inspected before you can sell them. So that's just one example, basically, of different rules. Eggs, you're allowed to sell from the farm gate. As long as you have a farm, you're allowed to sell things like that there. But if you wanted to sell them off the farm, then, like by taking them to market, they actually have to be graded. Just little things like that. So because we are in a completely different country, there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be sorted out, like those examples, basically, as to what is the rules here and what can we and can we not do. Fortunately, we do have a lot of good connections, so that helps. But that's something that Anneesa and I are both actively involved in right now, is trying to sort that all out so that we can get a running start. We don't figure it out day of. We try to figure the stuff out long before, so we have a good handle on what we can and cannot do when the time comes, and also where we can source this or where we can source that. But that's stuff that's behind the scenes. It's pretty boring. I can't really film myself just sitting there figuring it out. Wouldn't make for good content. So it's not that we're not busy. It's not that we're on holidays or that we're sick. We're just occupied with different kinds of stuff. Wes, on the other hand, is still doing a lot of stuff outside. He's still busy. Supposed to be helping with this floor, and there you go. See, who's the guy helping with that floor? There's Wes going. What would he do without Wes? Were you helping with that floor? No. I don't think you kept up because the floor came up before you did. So there's a good example. So there's still stuff being done. And then, of course, the Frost family's helping out as well. And they're staying pretty occupied working on the workshop right now, the Masterskaya, getting that ready to go. Come in for some advice every now and again. And then, as long as I can keep them going. And I can keep thinking about this stuff. What I've always said is there's two ways of doing this. Either you need to make more money or you need to spend less money. That's really the only two options you have. And so by producing food for our own table and not having to go to the grocery store and buy it, we are saving a huge amount of money for our family. So that is goal number one for us, is to figure out, okay, what do we eat? What would we like to eat? And how much of that can we grow ourselves? And for our food, most of it, probably 90% we could grow ourselves. We don't have to buy it, but it's going to take time. We are saving up for fruit trees right now. On year one, those are not going to be productive, but by year 3, we'll be having a lot of apples, more than we can eat, and then hopefully be able to sell them as well. I'm saving up for some milk cows right now, so hopefully we can start with 2 cows yet this winter, I'm hoping. That will provide us with butter, cheese, milk, yogurt, dairy products, basically, that we can then use for our own family, and also hopefully there will be excess that we can, again, sell. Also meat. We're trying to figure out, okay, how much meat do we eat in a year? How many animals do we need roughly? And those are all ways that we can save money here at home, so we don't need as much to survive. And then we can then add animals on top of that to hopefully provide an income, so that this farm becomes self-sustainable and starts to generate an income and pay for its own stuff, like fencing or other implements or other animals, or whatever else we may need. Long term, our hope is to give back to community. We want to be very much a community minded farm where we give back. And so there may be a need, a specific need, whether it's locally here in the community or in our oblast at large or in the country at large, that needs addressing. And we would like to be able to help out with that then. Of course, our primary focus would be close to home here in our local communities, whether there's a new playground or something, I don't know. Maybe somebody needs help with the roof. whatever it might be, to be able to do that is something that we would really like to be actively engaged in. So obviously that takes finances as well, though. So anyway, that's a little bit about what we've been busy with. That's 6.5 minute ramble. I gotta get back to work again. It is about 8:30 at night, but it's a good time to get this floor in. Goal tonight here is to get this floor done. We'll lay this all down, and yeah, one more piece of the puzzle done. Baseboard's gonna have to happen yet, so that'll probably wait for a little while. We're trying to wind down what we're doing in the house. Basically, it's comfortable, and we're going to finish off a few projects. We still have some lumber and some materials here that needs to be put into the house, but we're going to try not to buy too many more things for the house, and then we can save some money there as well and utilize that in the farm for purchasing animals: cows, pigs, chickens, ducks, geese, I don't know, what other animals we need. But basically all the animals that we're going to need to make this farm functioning, as well as supplies. So with the milk cows, I'm also saving up for a milk pump for milking the cows. I don't mind milking one cow by hand, but you know, there's a limit to how many we feel like milking. And also, when milking cows by hand, consistency is very important to avoid mastitis. And not everybody milks the same way. Obviously my hands are a lot bigger than my children's hands. So if I milk one milking and they milk another one, it is a very big difference in consistency for the cow. And that can then end up causing mastitis, which we've run into before. We've had troubles with that. Versus if you have a milk machine, then it's being milked the same every single milking every single day. And whether you have company come to milk for you and you're on holidays or something, or whatever the case is, less chance of the cow getting sick. So we're looking for a milk machine for milking. Also a storage tank to keep it cool. Looking or saving up for a butter churn and for a cream separator. All of these things that need to be purchased in order to make this a functioning farm again. So the less we have to put into the house, the more we'll have for that, and the more likelihood of us becoming a profitable venture and being able to sell our great products to all of you, if you're interested. Now it's seriously enough rambling. No, I'm not done yet. I wanted to show you this cow and this pig. So we got these at what we call a fall fair. We have these in the West a lot. Every little rural community puts on a fall fair. Fall fair is basically somewhere where farmers come. People bring their produce, maybe the largest pumpkin or the largest cucumber or the largest whatever it is. People will show their chickens off, they'll show their rabbits off, different things like that. There's also usually some tractor pulls where people bring their tractors and try to pull heavy weights across the ground. If you're from the West, you obviously know what I'm talking about. Here, I don't know if they do anything like that or not. But it's just a great time, and it's always in the fall. And this one that we went to, there was a lot of little stuff for the children as well. And I forget exactly what it was, but Ainsley, when she was young, she won this cow as a prize. And it's a jumpy cow. They can sit on it. Obviously, she's too big now, but she can sit on this and bounce around on the floor. And we just thought it was such a great thing. It was such a hoot, and she had so much fun with it that we ended up buying the pig online. We bought it on Amazon, which is similar to like an ozone thing. We bought the pig for Eli at that time. So anyway, the kids just found them. We took them with from Canada, one of the few things we took along, and they blew them up. And so now it's time has gone by, but now it's Ainsley, it's Finley jumping on this one, and Madeline's jumping on this one, and just having a blast with those. So all right, now it's enough talking. Yeah, you got to go to bed, and I got to get this floor right. No You say dobry wieczór. Good night.
Dobry wieczór. Nice and flat.
What's nice? Pull your right now into the wall. Yeah?
No.
Alright. Pull. What do you mean?
Cool.
I got lots of slack here, so I don't know.
No, it's fine.
Got enough now?
No.
There, now we get you on camera too, since all you was doing was filming earlier. Alright, so if you've watched our past videos, we actually built a roller for this, but there is...
We're too lazy to get it.
Eh?
We're too lazy to get it.
Yeah, it's outside, so Wes figured he'll roll it with this instead. And really, not a ton of rolling is required. It is and it isn't, whatever. In Canada, we would actually, the place that we bought our flooring from, they would let us use their roller. And it is super heavy. Made of solid metal, got a nice bar to hang on to. You can roll it standing up. You run that over your toes, it hurts very much bad. So this will work. The joint, we've just laid this down on here for now and put some weight on it just to help keep it down and make sure it don't come up. And then I got to run the glue, the seam sealer glue over the joint yet. Actually got to do all the joints, I haven't got around to it. It's one of those things, whatever. You actually can't tell that the joint is here. There is a joint right here, and it's almost impossible to see it. That's the beauty of cutting them in the right spots. On the black planks, on the black line, you don't see it. So there's one seam here in the middle of the room. Pardon the mess. There's one seam here in the middle. And you can kind of tell because I got a little thin on my black line here. So right there, there's basically no black line like there is here. There you can see a black line, and here there isn't, and that's where the joint is. There's a small goof up, but for the most part, it turned out very well here, and you can't actually tell. It's actually interesting that that happened here, not there, and not here. So I don't know why that is that way. What it is? Why is that, Corlin? Why?
I wasn't here. I didn't hear the rest of the
Oh,
conversation.
give us something smart.
You messed
Oh,
up.
it's because the wind speed over the Sahara Desert. Is it messed up? Because you messed up. That's what you said.
messed up.
Yeah, but your words were because you messed up, correct?
Yeah.
So you messed up.
Papa messed up.
Nah, now you're changing it.
Messed up.
See how he did that?
We both
See, you gotta watch that guy. He said because you messed up. So he's blaming it on you, actually. Technically, he's blaming it on you.
It's mommy.
All right, I think that's a wrap for the night, folks. We've had enough to do. It is like 9 o'clock at night, I think. And we're gonna call her quits. So, hope you enjoyed. Didn't teach you a whole lot today, but anyway, it is what it is. We'll catch you on the next one. God bless you.